Hello, welcome to Lego Explorers. My name is Miss Kayla, and every month we do a Lego challenge. So I write a story to go along with a theme, and then during the story, there are several challenges for you to participate with at home. So grab your Legos, and I will read the story and then pause for each challenge, and you can complete those challenges at home. If there's a challenge you don't care for, or you just want to build something else, that's also totally okay. If you want to build something else that goes along with the theme, you're also welcome to share any of your creations on our Facebook or Twitter pages. Please check us out, and we'd love to see what you create for this month's theme and challenges. So the theme for this month is zombie attack. We'll start with the first section of the story. Ash carefully eased around the concrete column, keeping her flint gray eyes fixed on the auto repair shop across the street. Graffiti splattered the front of the building, and one of the white automatic service doors looked like it had been ripped off its hinges. There was a chilly breeze blowing down the main street, scattering trash and bringing with it the putrid smell of death that clung to most cities nowadays. "Come on, Soot," she whispered to herself. It was never safe to remain in one place for long, and she'd already been crouched here, watching for 10 minutes. As she was about to head in herself, in case something had happened, a black-clad figure slipped out the side door, and Ash sighed in relief. "Did you get what you needed?" she asked as her twin brother joined her behind the column. "It wasn't easy to find, but yeah, they had it," Soot answered, swinging his ragged duffel bag over his shoulder. "We should be good." "Let's move out then," Ash said, glancing over her shoulder. "I'd like to be well away before anything comes sniffing around." "Agreed," Soot replied, and the two of them set off, moving stealthily in the shadows and avoiding anything that might make noise. "We'll need to find somewhere to shelter for the night," Ash said, tugging up the hood of her leather jacket against the chill wind. "I don't fancy spending the night on the street, not if I still want my brain intact in the morning, which would be preferable." So your first challenge, if you would like to participate, is to build a zombie-proof shelter to keep Ash and Soot safe from the zombies during the night. So if you are watching at home, you can pause the video here, take as long as you want to build that challenge, and then start the video back up for the next part of the story. Okay, part 2. They hunkered down in the shelter as night fell. Soot flipped on his flashlight and opened up his duffel bag, rifling through his collection of spare parts and tinkering. As night fell, the smell worsened, and several times Ash heard the shuffling of undead feet from outside the shelter, but they remained safe inside. Even though Soot told her several times to try and get some sleep, Ash couldn't manage to drift off, so instead she crouched beside her twin brother, using the glow from his flashlight to illuminate her map of the city. "Here's the old laboratory," she said, pointing to the large building on the map. "It's 7 blocks down from where we currently are, and the zombies will get more numerous the closer we get to city center, if the reports are accurate. The antidote should be in the primary test lab on the west side of the building," she pointed. "Then, once we've got the antidote, we need to get back to the landing strip here," she pointed again, "so that Victor can pick us up and get us out. Hopefully we won't have a horde of zombies on our trail the whole time." "We shouldn't," Soot replied. "Not if this works." He tapped the contraption he was working on. "If everything functions the way it should, this anti-zombifier should do the trick. It'll obscure our heat signature, along with dampening our brain energy signals. In essence, we should be able to walk right past a zombie, and it'll think we're zombies too, and not bother us." "Well, let's hope it works," Ash said, folding up the map, "because we have a lot of zombies to walk past tomorrow." Your second challenge is to build the anti-zombifier machine, whatever you think that would look like or whatever features you think it would have. Again, you can pause the video here if you're watching from home and continue it when you are ready. Part 3. The next morning dawned gray and drizzly. The twins rigged up the anti-zombifier and emerged from their shelter cautiously, prepared for anything. No zombies were currently in sight, though the undead stench in the air indicated that they weren't far away. Ash and Soot made their way down the street, towards the city center and the lab. Ash poked her head around the corner of the street leading to the lab and quickly withdrew, pushing Soot back with one hand. There's a whole horde of them, 10, maybe more. They're milling around about a block down the street. Soot drew in a deep breath. Well, it's time to see if this baby works, he said, patting the anti-zombifier. But be ready to run if it doesn't. Cautiously, they slid around the corner and approached the zombies, making sure to move slowly, with the same dead-footed shuffle as the undead monsters. 50 feet away, 30 feet away, 10 feet away. Still, the zombies paid them no notice. Skirting the edge of the street and edging their way past the real zombies, Ash and Soot managed to slip past undetected. The entrance of the old lab loomed in front of them. The revolving front doors had long since ceased to function, the glass smashed. The broken shards crunched under Ash's combat boots as they gingerly stepped through the glassless door frames. Inside, everything was in complete disarray. Glass doors smashed, fabric strewn along the floor, and pools of water and nameless chemicals collected on the tiling. Ash and Soot pulled their bandanas over their lower faces, protecting themselves as best they could from any noxious fumes. Following the map of the lab that they had received back at the base, they made their way down the lifeless corridors, encountering a few zombies along the way that thankfully ignored them like the ones on the street. They made their way to the west wing and found the primary test lab, which was in better condition than the rest of the building. There it is, just like Dr. Kane said, Soot murmured, pointing, and sure enough, there it was, the antidote to the zombie virus that Dr. Kane had been working on before the attack on the lab and the evacuation. Your third challenge is to build the zombie antidote, whatever you think that might be. Pause the video and continue on to the last section when you are ready. Part 4. Soot lifted the antidote and carefully put it into his duffel bag and zipped it closed. All right, let's get to the landing strip. We've got about 10 minutes of power left on the anti-zombifier before it needs to be recharged. They stepped out of a broken window in the test lab and made their way north towards the landing strip, avoiding the largest groups of zombies that they encountered and slipping past the smaller gangs. Soon, the airport was in sight, but the power light on the anti-zombifier was blinking red. Victor had better be there, Ash muttered. There was a group of zombies near the landing strip, wandering around and growling, but there was no sign of their getaway plane. The anti-zombifier gave one last sad blink and turned off. We're on our own, Soot muttered. One of the zombies looked up and sniffed. Ash and Soot tried to make themselves as inconspicuous as possible. Another zombie lifted its head, sniffing with interest and swinging its head around in their direction. The first zombie was still sniffing, shuffling closer towards the twins. Suddenly, there was a distant whirring sound that grew louder, and then a small plane whizzed past over the buildings, circling, then coming down to land in front of them. A young man with wavy blonde hair stuck his head out of the pilot's window. Hop on while you still have your brains intact, he called to them. Let's get out of here. Ash and Soot hopped onto the plane and soon were soaring away from the zombie-infested city with the antidote that might just be the beacon of hope for mankind tucked in their duffel bag. And your last challenge, if you want to do it, is to build the getaway plane. So thanks for tuning in for LEGO Explorers this month. We'll be back next month in November for a new theme and 4 more challenges. The theme will be Wizard World, and registration is currently open for LEGO Explorers in November and December. So you can head over to our website, which is www.dubcolib, like Dubuque County Library, so dubcolib.org. And you can find all of our current programs and the registration forms for those for November and December. And we hope you join us next month for some of our programs. And again, like I said, if you made some cool zombie projects and challenges this month with this challenge, please feel free to share those with us on our Facebook page. We'd love to see what you come up with. So thanks for joining me, and see you later. Bye.